as a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
So unless you guys have been living under a rock for the past couple of weeks, then you'll know that there is definitely something going on with Donald Trump's health. Now, last week, we talked about some of the physical ailments that are really raising concerns about whether he's even going to make it through his entire second term. We talked about his exploding ankles and how they're the size of cantaloupes. We talked about the bruising on the back of his right hand that even spread to the back of his left hand. And what really struck me is that Donald Trump couldn't even walk a straight line during his summit with Putin up in Alaska. And so now that we've talked about some of the physical ailments, it's really time to discuss some of the cognitive decline that really seems to be becoming more apparent with nearly every single appearance that he makes. And I just want everybody to pause and take a look at the guy up on the screen right now. Does this look like somebody who has it all together? Or does there something seem off with those eyes? Because I have personally dealt with dementia in my life. And some of the stares, these blank stares that we are getting from Donald Trump, it just seems like nobody's home. It seems like the pattern recognition engine isn't turning on. There's a blank void to some of the stares that we are now getting out of Donald Trump. And I'm going to point another one of these looks out later, but I also want to discuss some just really odd behavior that we are seeing from Donald Trump. This was just a few weeks ago when he started holding up charts like he was at a science fair in the 3rd grade. Now, if you guys do appreciate the work I do here and want to support the show, please do remember to subscribe.
This one chart really says it better than anything. If you look at this is great, but this chart is pretty amazing right here. All new numbers. Okay?
I mean, what is going on here, guys? He's holding up a poster, waving it around. He's not describing any of the data that makes up the poster. He's not talking about anything that he is trying to communicate to you through the poster. But instead, he just holds up the poster. He waves it around. All new numbers, guys, okay? All new numbers. Because Donald Trump, it seems like he didn't know what to say. Like there was no words that were coming to his mind. He maybe had forgotten about the point he was trying to make. And I feel like we were getting more and more of these moments from Donald Trump. And then we had other weird stuff like this when he was on the White House roof talking about nuclear missiles being installed at the White House.
Mr. President, what do you want to build? What are you trying to build?
What?
Sir, you approve? You say more missile?
Are you building missiles?
What? Come on, Dad.
Might be missiles.
Did you say missiles?
Just imagine if this were Joe Biden. How insane the news coverage would be, coming from the right, coming from the left, coming from people in the center. People would be freaking the fuck out, and rightfully so. What sense does it make to have the President of the United States up on the White House roof talking about installing nuclear missiles, using hand gestures like a child? We're building missiles, guys. We're building missiles. This is just not normal. It is unbecoming of the President of the United States. I mean, I just don't even know what to say, because it is so outside of the norm. It is so strange. It's just so unusual that is how he is choosing to spend his time. He's walking around on the roof of the White House talking about installing nuclear silos or nuclear missiles right there in Washington, D.C. I mean, make it make sense, guys. It should be quite concerning. If I saw Biden doing something like this, I, as somebody who supported President Biden, would be very concerned. Just like I was kind of taken aback after that debate with Trump. I think everybody's eyes were kind of opened at that moment. Now, I would have still supported Joe Biden over Donald Trump, no matter how that debate went. That's always been my stance and always will be my stance. But if Biden were doing some of the things that we are seeing out of Trump now, I would definitely be raising the alarm. Then we had this moment when he was at one of these meetings with the European leaders, where he couldn't find somebody that he considers a friend.
President Stubb of Finland, and he's somebody that, where are we here? Where? I'm right here. Oh, you look better than I've ever seen you look. But you've done a great job, and we wanted to have you here because you're somebody that we all respect.
So this is another one of those moments where I want you to take a look at Donald Trump's eyes, and I'll pull it up on the screen now. Look at the eyes here. It seems like nobody is home. This is a blank stare that is not really looking at anything. It's kind of like he's looking through the space, like the pattern recognition engines are no longer working. This is a stare that I've seen many times from people that I know with dementia. I'm not saying that Donald Trump has dementia, but these are the types of stares that I would see from somebody with dementia. Now, of course, we can't even trust that Donald Trump is going to be straightforward with any of this stuff, so we are only left to speculate. But when you take all of these weird things together, it starts to seem like maybe there's something more going on than we know about. And I just want to show you, the guy that he was looking for in that video that we just watched was sitting right in front of him. Right in front of him. And he was looking around like he was confused, like he didn't know where he was, looking for somebody that he considers a friend who was sitting right in front of him, yet didn't recognize him at all. Again, guys, if this were any other person, if this were any other president, if this were any other congressperson, we would be concerned. But because Donald Trump has started at such a base level of stupidity, of pure idiocy, it is really hard to recognize just how far he is actually falling. I mean, we've been calling out the cognitive decline since before he got into office for a second time. But I feel like it is just getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know if it's the stress of becoming president. I mean, he is the oldest president at this point in his presidency than any other president of this country, so maybe that has something to do with it. But I feel like it is devolving. It is getting worse. And I feel like there is some sort of cover-up that might be going on that the American people just don't know about. Now, during that same meeting, this was also something that stood out, because you got the European leaders assembled to talk about what is going on over in Ukraine. And here you've got somebody talking about how we need to focus on the children that have been stolen, that have been kidnapped by Russia. But listen to Trump's response.
Every single child has to go back to its family. This should be one of our main priorities also in these negotiations, to make sure that the children come back to Ukraine, to their families.
Thank you. And we did. I was just thinking we're here for a different reason, but we just a couple of weeks ago made the largest trade deal in history. So that's a big thing. And congratulations. That's great.
What? Here, you've got somebody asking about the thousands upon thousands of children that have been kidnapped by Russia. They're taking these kids back to Russia, giving them new names. And you've got somebody bringing that to your attention, saying that this needs to be our number one focus. This is something that we have to get done for the Ukrainian people. This is something that needs to be done for the goodness of humanity. And Donald Trump says, oh, well, guys, I thought we were here for something different. We just got that trade deal done, so congratulations. How is that at all appropriate for what she just said? I feel like a broken record at this point, guys. But if this were Biden, people would be freaking out. and rightfully so. Never did we see anything like this when it came to Biden. Now, of course, Biden's speech kind of degraded as he was president, but he was still with it. He was still there. He was still coherent. He could still walk you through about the different things that they were working on. This doesn't look anything like that. This seems completely detached from reality. You probably have also noticed that Donald Trump just keeps repeating these absurd lies over and over and over again. And then you have Gavin Newsom asking an AI bot saying, hey, do people with dementia repeat things, repeat lies over and over and over again? And yeah, this is what some people with dementia do to try to fill in the gaps in their memory. Now, again, I'm not 100% saying that Donald Trump has dementia. His dad had dementia. It's very possible that that is something that he is struggling with. It's something he is dealing with today. But because we have no transparency into the health of the president, we just don't know. Donald Trump could be way better than we thought or way worse than we thought, and we would just have no idea. Then there was this other moment when he was talking about mail-in voting or, being verified to cast your vote. And this is what he said.
We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt. When you go to a voting booth and you do it the right way and you go to a state that runs it properly, you go in. They even asked me. They asked me for my license plate, for identity. I said, I don't know if I have it. They said, sir, you have to have it. I was very impressed, actually.
First of all, do you think Donald Trump has ever walked into a voting booth? Or do you think he has his ballot mailed to him like a lot of people do? And then to hear him come out and try to fill in that story with details saying that, oh, well, the people at the voting booth, well, they said that I need to give them my license plate number, but I don't know if I have it, but, well, you have to have it, sir. You got to have that license plate to be able to cast a vote. This did not happen. You guys, if you've voted before, if you've walked into a polling place and cast your vote, you know that they don't need your license plate. That has nothing to do about whether you are an eligible voter. So Donald Trump is just full of shit here. It should be pretty apparent. I'm sure there are some MAGA people out there who bought this story hook, line, and sinker. But this is just a load of shit. That's all it is. I don't know if he's trying to fill in gaps of his memory, like we've been talking about. I don't know what is going on here, but this did not happen. This never happened. I don't even think Donald Trump has ever walked into a polling station to cast a vote before. I would be very, very surprised if that were actually the case. And then I want to go ahead and show you this one last clip. And this really demonstrates what we've been seeing a little bit more of him, when he gives these speeches or whatever you want to call them. He's having a hard time with certain words. Not necessarily, having trouble with the same word over and over and over again, but a lot of the times when he gives these announcements, when he's giving these speeches, for one, they're very tired, they're very slurred, they're kind of meh, but also he has trouble pronouncing words.
As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician,
Okay, so sorry to mess it up. Let's go ahead and play that one more time.
As a linguist, translator, and cryptologic technician.
What was he trying to say? A cryptologic technician? Cryptologic technic? Cryptologic? I don't know what the hell he was trying to say here. But the point is, Donald Trump does this quite often now. Obviously, he doesn't give the rally speeches like he did. He's not getting up in front of huge crowds, going on for hours and hours and hours like he would before he got elected for a second time. But this happens quite a bit. He just has these words that, I don't know if there's a misfire in his brain or what is going on, but he kind of just rolls through them like he's got a mouthful of mud or something. You can't understand what he's saying. Oftentimes he doesn't correct himself because he doesn't want to appear weak, probably is his thought process. He doesn't want to have to correct himself. And so he kind of just rolls through these mispronunciations and just kind of keeps on going. Very, very strange stuff, guys. So like I said, we don't know if Donald Trump has dementia. We don't know if he has any sort of Alzheimer's diagnosis. We just don't know because there has been no transparency about what is going on with Donald Trump. Whether that be his exploding ankles, whether that be the bruising on his hand. They tried to pass that off as a whole bunch of handshaking, but then it showed up on his non-dominant hand as well. There's just a lot going on that just raised a ton of questions. Donald Trump is the oldest president at this point in his presidency than any other president that has come before him. And it's starting to show, in my mind, in my opinion, more and more and more and more. Aside from just the physical ailments, we are now seeing this cognitive decline that seems to become more prevalent with nearly every single appearance that he gives. So, I want to know what you guys think. Is Donald Trump too far gone? Obviously, in my mind, Donald Trump was too far gone even before he got elected for a second time. But what do you guys think is going on here? Is this some sort of dementia? What do you guys think about the physical ailments? What's up with the bruising on the back of his hands? What's up with the exploding ankles? Is there some sort of congestive heart failure or whatever they call it? Is there some sort of kidney disease, some sort of liver disease? I know there's just a whole bunch of speculation because we just do not have the transparency that I think the American people should have when it comes to the President of the United States. So again, guys, we will keep an eye on this. It is quite concerning. And like I said, if this were any other person, would they have been 25th Amendmented out of the government by now? Because it seems to me that that is where we are headed. If Donald Trump continues down this path of decline, he's already in no position to run this country. And so if it gets even worse, he's just putting the American people at risk. He can't govern even if he was lucid, even if he was all together. He is a malignant narcissist who has no business being the president of the United States. And hopefully, with all this crazy shit that he is doing around the country, he will be severely, severely punished in the upcoming midterms. So, I'll leave it there for now, guys. If you guys got anything out of this video, please do remember to smash that like button and subscribe, maybe share with a friend or two. I'd very much appreciate that. We've got to build something here on the left that pushes back against this right-wing media ecosystem that just kind of covers up all of this bad behavior, all of these physical ailments, all of this cognitive decline. They cover it up on a daily basis. So if you do like what I do here, please do remember to smash that subscribe button. Of course, that is free. And if you guys want to go a step above and beyond that and help me produce these videos, you can become a member right here on YouTube for as little as $3 a month. Or you can head over to politiscape.substack.com where you can have my content delivered right to your inbox on a daily basis. No doom scrolling, no weird algorithmic bullshit to, flood my content other places. You can have it delivered straight to your inbox. You can sign up as a free subscriber, or you can subscribe for $5 a month over there. So until next one, guys, take care of yourself. Hope you're all doing well out there.